Chapter 1, verse 4.
Sovereign of the Day of Recompense.
Allah, the Exalted, has appointed Muslims as his representatives on earth. It is obvious that the ambassador of the worldly king will face a penalty if they fail to represent the king correctly. Similarly, those who fail to represent Allah, the Exalted, correctly will also face the consequences of their failure. Muslims must remember the very important position they have been appointed to by Allah, the Exalted, namely, the ambassadors of Islam. It is extremely important for Muslims to fulfill this duty according to their potential. The best way to achieve this is by fulfilling the commands of Allah, the Exalted, refraining from his prohibitions and being patient with his choices. Islam spread across the entire globe because the righteous predecessors took this duty very seriously. When they gained and acted on beneficial knowledge, the outside world recognized the truthfulness of Islam through their behavior. This caused countless people to enter the fold of Islam. Unfortunately, many Muslims today believe that showing others about Islam is merely in one's appearance, such as growing a beard or wearing a scarf. This is only an aspect of representing Islam. The greatest part is by adopting the characteristics of Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, discussed in the Holy Quran and his traditions. Only with this attitude will the outside world observe the true nature of Islam. A Muslim should always remember that adopting an Islamic appearance while possessing characteristics which oppose the teachings of Islam only causes the outside world to disrespect Islam. They will be held accountable for this disrespect as they are the cause of it. A Muslim should therefore behave as a true ambassador of Islam by adopting the inward teachings of Islam as well as the outer appearance of Islam. In addition, this important position should remind Muslims that they will be held accountable and questioned whether they fulfill this role or not on Judgment Day. The same way a king would become angry at their diplomat and representative if they failed to fulfill their duty, so will Allah, the Exalted, become angry with the Muslim who fails to fulfill their duty as an ambassador of Islam. In addition, in the main verse, Allah, the Exalted, has given the vital ingredient required to achieve a peaceful society on earth, namely, the fear of the consequences of one's actions. Unfortunately, there are some who claim that faith is not required in this world, and others who are Muslims claim it is enough to profess Islam without supporting it with sincere obedience to Allah, the Exalted. But the increase in crimes within society proves the importance of faith and strengthening it through knowledge and action. This is because crimes and sins only occur as a person feels they will either face no consequences for their actions, such as prison, or they will somehow escape them, for example, by fleeing the country. But the person who believes that no matter what action they perform, whether open or secret, big or small, and no matter what tricks they attempt, a day will undoubtedly come where they will be held accountable for all their deeds, will always think twice before committing a crime or a sin. If this belief is strengthened through gaining and acting on Islamic knowledge, it will deter one from committing crimes and sins. If people acted in this way, peace and justice would spread across society. The crime rate would decrease and the times would closely match the times of the Holy Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings be upon him, and his rightly guided caliphs, may Allah be pleased with them. This fact alone indicates the importance of faith and strengthening it through gaining and acting on knowledge within society. Chapter 16, verse 90.
Indeed, Allah orders justice and good conduct and giving to relatives, and forbids immorality and bad conduct and oppression. He admonishes you that perhaps you will be reminded.